Mother and father with three children. They came into the room, into my principal's room. My principal was sitting there and they wanted to take admission. So the father and the mother started speaking about their children, their requirements, questions and all that. The principal is giving all the answers and it went on and so forth. So finally it all came down to the point where they have to make the decision. Okay, so they asked, alright, so how many application forms? Because she saw 3 children. So the father said 2 forms. Okay, 2 forms. So the principal thought it is the eldest son and the second daughter. Because the younger one is too young, maybe he will take some time to come back. So she got 2 forms and gave it to the father. Father immediately gave it to the mother who seated next and said, fill the form for both these boys. Okay. And parallelly, another story is running. Parallelly, when this entire conversation was going on between the parents and the principal, that girl, the second among the top 3, the second born child, she was sitting there on the floor in principal's room. Okay, she was seated there and she was doing some drawing. She was not worried about this entire conversation. She was seated there and she was doing some drawing. She finished the drawing and then she started doing some homework or whatever somebody had told. She was filling up her book. Principal, being an academician, could not help. So whenever she was free from this conversation, she was looking at that girl who was sitting there. Out of curiosity, when the mother was filling the application form, principal called the girl and said, show me what have you done so far. And the girl brought her books. She showed a beautiful drawing. My principal took the picture. She sent it to me, so I have it, so I know what is the picture about. It's a nice scenery, a village scene. Okay? And then principal also turned the page to see her homework. Beautiful handwriting, very neatly done, everything. Then she said, okay, very good. And she gave her a chocolate to encourage the child. And she said, go, sit down. So the girl went back and she sat down. Now principal is not aware that the application form is filled for 2 boys. The girl does not know what is happening around her in this room. Father and mother have filled up the application form for 2 children. And when it was submitted to the principal, she realized that the girl is nowhere in the picture. And she has no right to do anything because she is just a principal of a school. The parent has the decision-making authority. So she accepted the application and she went. Soon after those 2 admissions and the parents walked out, she made a call to me. I am sitting in Hyderabad. She said, sir, can we release a scholarship scheme in our schools? Now I didn't understand in the middle of a working day, where is this scholarship agenda coming into the conversation from my principal? I don't have background story. So I said, why do you talk about scholarship? And anyway, if you want to talk about it, let us put it in the review meeting which happens on a monthly basis. Let us discuss that and let us decide together. He said, no sir, I want to tell you an incident which just happened and it touched my heart and I want to tell you because we need to do something. I said, okay, go ahead. And then she told me the whole story. And then she said, sir, that boy and that girl and the other boy, if I put them as 3 individuals, no boy, no girl, no this thing, first, second, third, nothing, 3 separate individuals. If you ask me the question, who deserves to be given admission here? The answer is all 3. The answer is all three. But if you cut off and say pick any two, I will pick the girl and the girl alone, not even the boy. Why? Because academically, discipline-wise, values-wise, that girl is qualified than the two boys. Why? She said not just for the homework and the drawings, sir. From the minute she came in till the time she walked out, she was respectful of all elders around us. She wished me good morning, where the two boys did not even bother. She spoke to me politely, where the boys did not even talk to me about that. And if you look at her score is better than the boys' score. So I am not biased here, but I am telling you this. I was looking not about giving admission, I was looking at what is happening here. And I said, what? Okay, you wanted to give her the admission, but why did you call me and ask about scholarship? She said, no sir. I can solve one girl's problem by asking you that this girl deserves admission over the boy. But if I get a scholarship scheme, I can change the future of many such girls in my village or in my vicinity. That is the reason I want a scholarship. And you have a responsibility not just to take care of your future, but to take care of the future of people who are going to come behind you. And think like what my principal was thinking. You don't solve problems for one person. Solve problem for a generation. That is how you should be breaking the bias. That should be the goal with which you should break the bias. This is a show of solidarity. This is a show of solidarity that an event like an International Women's Day can bring together across all genders, across all age groups, across all sectors to celebrate a common theme. We are not here to celebrate International Women's Day. We are here to celebrate those three words which are on the top, which incidentally is also the topic for my talk. Breaking the bias, or breaking the bias as we use it. So for example, when I was growing up, my mother always used to tell, don't cry like a girl. I didn't understand what is crying like a girl. Crying is crying. There is nothing like crying like a girl, crying. There was a famous Hindi actor. Every movie she used to act, the only scene she used to do was crying. Can you tell me the name? No, not Rocky. No. There was another lady. Yeah, Veena Kumari. Every role she was crying. So I understood that, okay, don't cry like Veena Kumari is understandable. How can you say don't cry like a girl? Is that what you are referring? Like you have a brother or a uncle. For everybody the rule was same? It was for you and your brother. Your father can go out at 10 o'clock. Your uncle can go out at 10 o'clock. Was that the problem? If that. But if you had work, you cannot go. Security reasons. Now why am I trying to dissect it is, just saying is not important. Understanding the fact and the thought behind it is also important. Right? Implication of it is very important. Okay, one bias, okay. Any other? Yes, whatever.
When I was going with my sister, so my mother always used to send me, like, take her home, bring her back home. Around the night time, similar.
Okay, similar. So if you are going out with your sister, your mom always used to insist, get back before sunset.
Yeah.
Bring her back soon. Okay? Yes, madam.
Girls shouldn't be called as minors and boys shouldn't be called as this.
Yeah, that's a big bias against newborns, right?
How many minors? How many plus?
Yeah, it's like if a girl child is born, then you feel oh, and if a boy is born, then wow. Right? It is not existing today, maybe in cities, but it very much exists. I'll give you a story from my own life. I come from an educational background. I'll tell you some 2-3 stories in the next 20-30 minutes, and that's all I want to tell. But maybe with those stories we can break the bias. Okay, so thank you for bringing that. Yes? You can raise your hand now, yes.
Kitchen work is only for women or it's a female child in the house?
Yeah. Kitchen work, laundry, yeah, all that is only for women, not for the men. Right? And today, for the last, I think, 20 years, I am suffering because of that bias. Because we were two boys, we were never allowed to go into the kitchen. Okay, I don't know how to cut a carrot.
Variation in giving education.
Yes, variation in giving. लड़का है, हिंदी is okay, right? हिंदी is okay. तो लड़का है तो अंग्रेजी मीडियम, इंटरनेशनल स्कूल. अगर उस वक्त इंटरनेशनल नहीं था तो कॉन्वेंट स्कूल. लड़की है तो घर के नजदीक वाला स्कूल. Right? Varying education. Yes? That? Yes.
Once you turn 25, women will be mostly posed this question, like when I get married. When it comes to a male, what type of career are we set to? So women can't be ambitious, we can't prioritize a career, we can't have a family.
Very, very important, right? So the question itself is changing. The age is same, but then the way we question is totally different because we have an assumption that, okay. I tell you one more thing from our experience. When we sit for interviews, we do recruitments, right? When we sit for interviews, it happened with me, so I'm sharing that experience. So we get all resumes after 2, 3, 4 rounds of interviews. First there is a normal validation round, because the credentials are checked whether they have the right certificates or not. Then the second round is more about attitude fit. Will they fit into our culture? Will they fit into the organization's ethos and all that? Third round is the, your core competence test, where are you the best capable person to do that particular job. Say for example, English teacher. So, do you know English? Have you got the qualification? Can you impart that knowledge of English, poetry, prose, or literature, whatever? Fourth round is the logistics. What is logistics? Where are you located? How quick you can come to the place? How much you will work in terms of extra hours? Is your family conducive to support you? And there, after all these rounds, when the resumes used to come for final appointment, we used to have some red marks, black marks, and green marks. And when the red mark was there, we used to ask that, why are you marking red? And they said, no sir, everything is fine, this candidate scored 8.5 or 8.8 out of 10, but then this candidate is just got newly married. So what does red mark mean? So newly married means another 2 years, this lady will go the family way. That means she will invariably take a break in her work for at least 1.5 years. Which means organization will lose that person the time when she's settling down in the organization. So we want you to keep her on a back burner, backup. Right? Now, the worst thing is not even this. Husband has also applied. Normally in education, husband and wife both are teachers. Husband has also applied. Same logic applies to the husband also. That he is also newly married. No, the wife is newly married, husband is also newly married. But then there is a green mark. His score is not 8.8 out of 10, his score is 6.7 out of 10. And look at the reverse logic. There they say, sir, newly married, so that means he has more responsibility, he will be more stable, he will not leave the job and go, he will stick to your job, so you have to take care of him so that he will be taking care of the organization. It's a bias which exists here. I am not saying that candidate is worth it or not worth it. I don't even know, I've not even met them. But what comes on the table as a paper, you have a green, you have a red.